On this episode of the Layover Live, Laura Holmberg with the U.S. Travel Association stops by to talk the Let's Go There campaign. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 139 of the Layover Live, where we bring you the top article from the Layover each week. I'm Jason Swick, VP of Strategy Insights, and I'm joined today by very special guest, Laura Holmberg with the USTA. So, Laura, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, happy to have you here. So, since the beginning of March, the COVID-19 pandemic has resulted in nearly $400 billion in losses for the U.S. travel economy, which is just a mind-blowing number. And although concerns around COVID seem to be rising slightly, recent data from Destination Analyst shows that almost two-thirds of American travelers are still planning to take a fall trip. This is due to the fact that many of us, including myself, are feeling cooped up and are searching for those safe ways to maybe relax or spend some time with our families or even just escape. So it begs the question, is the time right now to start marketing travel once again? Now, most of you have probably seen the Let's Go There campaign, which is a new industry-wide effort to reignite America's sense of wanderlust and inspire them to plan their next trip. Now, our article of the week this week for the Layover comes from Adweek, and it talks about tourism brands joining forces to get people traveling again as part of the Let's Go There initiative. Now, the campaign was developed by the Let's Go There Coalition, which is a collection of travel organizations and businesses that were formed to address the declines in travel related to COVID. The Let's Go There Coalition is supported by the U.S. Travel Association, and today on the show, we are excited to discuss the Let's Go There campaign with Laura Holmberg, who is the Vice President of Marketing and Industry Communications at the U.S. Travel Association. So, Laura, again, welcome to the show, and maybe just give everybody a little background on yourself for those who may not know who you are.
Sure. So, again, Laura Holmberg, I'm the Head of Marketing and Industry Communications for U.S. Travel. I've been there for, 14 or so years. I roll up under the public affairs arm of U.S. Travel, so all the advocacy work and advocating on behalf of the industry through our grassroots activation and the legislative agenda that we've been facing throughout this pandemic. I directly support that organization as well.
Well, wonderful. And again, welcome to the show. And I'm excited to have you on because it's a really, really big initiative. It took a ton of work on your team's part to put together. And in doing that, we're looking at, a common question that we get from a lot of destination marketers here at Simpleview a lot is, hey, should I be turning the paid media faucet on? When should I be doing my marketing? All that good stuff. So I'd love to just kind of jump right into it and just hear about how the Let's Go There campaign kind of came about and more about, the overall strategy of the initiative itself.
Sure. So, as I alluded in my introduction there, U.S. Travel's focus has really been, since this pandemic began, on providing relief for the industry and trying as hard as we can to get support for the industry through the legislative efforts. So this initiative really came about as, what can we do in combination with what we're advocating for on behalf of the industry legislatively? What else can we do to really try to accelerate travel's recovery? And as you mentioned, the really foundation of travel's recovery comes with, restoring travel confidence around health and safety. So this campaign really started back in May when the industry came together. U.S. Travel convened a group of about 50 or so folks across the industry, different segments, to formulate industry-wide health and safety guidance. That obviously is the first step. We need to improve traveler confidence before folks are really comfortable to take that next trip. So we released the guidance back in May. This, of course, was endorsed by 30 or so vertical trade associations. It includes 6 kind of overarching guidances that consumers can expect to see and experience across their entire travel journey. So we have at U.S. Travel been really putting forward that message of health and safety along with the industry and the individual travel brands, knowing that that is really the foundation behind any type of recovery. The group we were working with on health and safety then said, as we are all as an industry prioritizing, these cleanliness programs and these partnerships we have within health and safety to rise that consumer and travel confidence, what else can we do as an industry united from a marketing perspective to safely get people to take the first step in traveling again? So we convened a second group. It was also about 50 or so folks, but this time it was really the chief marketing officers of major travel brands, DMOs across the country, state tourism offices. And we also worked with two award-winning agencies. We brought in Dentsu McGarry Bowen and Publicis Group, who really helped us to ideate around, what is the appropriate messaging framework that a consumer is ready to accept from the travel industry, given where we are in the pandemic. So we kind of developed this messaging framework about, putting forward a message that's both safe and productive for consumers. And that's simply, asking them to take the first step in traveling again, and that's simply to make plans. You noted that, we're all kind of, been cooped up in this environment here and probably dreaming of travel, but, there's a lot of reticence when it comes to travel. So the campaign is really intended to, inspire, those of us who are sitting at home to really take that first step and planning a future trip.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. It's always neat to get the insights about this, and more so ever because of the fact that we're kind of in these uncertain times. And it's amazing to think that the planning for this went all the way back to May, which seems like forever ago, and I'm sure you feel the same. And how you guys met with different stakeholders along the way as part of this collective. Now, one thing that we've showcased on the show pretty much on a weekly basis is research and data and insights. I think a lot of people are yearning for that, right? Whether it's sentiment data coming from partners out there like destination analysts, could be web analytics data that we provide, or even arrival type information that you're getting maybe from the arrivalist of the world or those that are further downstream. Maybe if you could explain maybe a little bit, as we're talking about data, what research and insights were used when you guys put this plan together?
Absolutely. I mean, data, we're all watching it so carefully. U.S. travel aggregates a lot of that data for our industry and our membership on a weekly basis. We really took that data to the next level when it came to kind of informing and influencing the timing of this campaign. Truth be told, we were initially interested in launching the campaign around July. But then this data and this set of indicators really informed us that the consumers weren't quite ready for that message yet. So we looked at a couple of different indicators. One, as you mentioned, consumer sentiment. So broadly, are people canceling trips? Are they postponing? When are they postponing till? What are their major concerns about traveling? So we were tracking all the same destination analysts, arrivalists, all the different data that's out there. What are they searching for? Are they booking? And then we had a set of indicators that we tracked weekly, and we looked at these really closely. And one was, kind of broader macro indicators. Is the virus spreading? So what does the 7-day, outlook look like, or 7-day average look like for hospitalizations? And where is that trend going from week to week? We also looked at consumer readiness to travel and state of mind. And then overall kind of perception of openness to hearing more about travel information and openness to being inspired. So we had kind of a dashboard of indicators that we got from various sources, both inside and outside the travel industry, that helped inform not only the messaging, but largely the timing of the launch.
Yeah, and thank you for sharing that. I think, and I love to hear that you guys kind of had your own indicators and how you guys looked at things. I think, one of the things I think we found coming out of this is there's information coming from everywhere, right? There's data coming from everywhere, and oftentimes as DMOs we're drowning in data. And so for us to be able to take those insights, to your guys' point, hey, we're looking at sentiment through DA, which we mentioned, looking at some other arrivalist data, but then you guys came up with your own indicators to keep an eye on things like how things are happening with COVID and the pandemic and all of that. I think, again, helps you to gauge when the time is right to kind of get this started. So thank you for sharing that. Now, noticing that also now phase one of the campaign has wrapped. What are some of the ways maybe that the campaign's going to evolve for phase two? Maybe you could talk about that a little bit.
Sure. So the campaign itself, after we looked at all the indicators, ended up launching on September 8th. We felt like right after Labor Day, kind of getting through the summer travel season, looking ahead to kind of, saving the year would be kind of an appropriate launch point. So we were in market for phase one for about 3 weeks. And by in market, I mean, we had a heavy paid media push through various channels. We obviously had our PR and earned media strategy running adjacent to that. And then we heavily activated the industry. Many of your listeners on activating on their own channels through social media or video platforms or thought leadership as well. And then we culminated kind of phase one at the end of September. We have paused just for at least the paid media, just given the kind of noise around the media cycle right now and the expense around the holidays and the other storylines around the election. So we don't want to get lost in that. So we have paused for that time and kind of regrouping for phase two. Phase two will enable us to relaunch around mid-November. Because Let's Go There, it's an incredibly adaptable messaging framework. So, which is one of the reasons why the coalition kind of landed on it out of kind of 4 options that the agency presented us. What we like about it is the holiday moment in mid-November to mid-December will allow us to really adapt Let's Go There to Let's Go There together, and really focus on kind of a family travel, holiday message, give the gift of travel, the benefits of togetherness that holidays innately bring. And, really focus on adapting that Let's Go There into kind of this new this new message of togetherness and family and the benefits that travel can provide in that vein. So we'll go back and market with primarily earned and owned over the phase two. So there will be new assets that we'll release to the industry to, ask for their amplification. We've seen tremendous success across the industry in amplification so far. So we hope to continue that momentum in phase two. And then we'll return for phase three with another significant paid media push around January. So understanding it's a new year, put 2020 behind us, look forward to a full calendar of days and moments to plan travel ahead, and really have a big industry and earned moment around National Plan for Vacation Day on January 26th.
Well, great. That's wonderful to share. And this phased approach, I think, is a smart way to approach it, and adjusting the messaging with the changing times. And one of the ways that this campaign has gotten off to such a great start and been so successful out of the gate is DMOs involvement. So, as we start to move into this phase two, then what are some ways maybe that DMOs or other travel organizations, for that matter, can get involved with you guys on this?
Well, there's a couple of ways. So first is, we've held a couple of webinars. Obviously, we send many communications trying to get the industry, up to speed on the efforts of the coalition and the messaging and the resources that are available to them. And this is really strength in numbers, right? This is an awareness campaign. We want to get travel back in the conversation to consumers. We want people to dream and plan and book for travel when they're ready. So, the greater we can make that amplification across all of our channels and across the industry and segments, the more successful we'll be in conveying that message. So we do have resources that are available, campaign assets, editorial calendars. This is anything from, social media guide, a social media guide with graphics and copy lines to, ideas and tactics like homepage takeovers. We provide all that to the industry at no cost. So you can come to the website, ustravel.org/let's go there at any moment and have access to assets that you can easily plug and play into your channels, and really make this kind of Let's Go There industry message your own. You can put the logo onto your own destination imagery. You can put it on your website. You can tie it to deals that you're promoting. You can tie it to itineraries around future fall travel or holiday travel. There's a lot of extensions that this campaign and the assets offer destinations. And we just encourage anybody that is able to just get involved in some way and amplify the message on your channels.
Yeah, that's great. And to your point, the way this gets out is amplifying it. And you guys have a tremendous amount of assets on the website. I've taken a look at that. There's toolkits, a million things and ways to get involved. So I highly encourage you folks out there, if you haven't already, please do so and go check out what they have to offer. And in some ways, some of the DMOs out there that have got involved have done some pretty creative things in getting involved. I know even down to like American Airlines, right? I get emails from them all the time about things. I know I had gotten an email from them about the Let's Go There campaign, which was wonderful to see, even trickling down at that level. So maybe if you don't mind, maybe just in wrapping up, maybe what are some creative ways that you can share that maybe some DMOs have shared the campaign out there?
Oh gosh, I mean, I've been I think pleasantly surprised and at the creativity and the extension of this campaign into so many channels. I mean, every day it's something new. But you're right. I mean, I think the beauty of this campaign is that it really does lend itself to, every type of travel business and beyond. I mean, we have folks on the coalition that are invested in travel's recovery, but may not necessarily be, endemic to our industry, like a PepsiCo or a Raytheon. I mean, and credit card companies. There's so many organizations that are, invested in travel's recovery, and we've seen tremendous creative executions from them as well. So you mentioned a couple of them. So if you're in the hotel space and you have some kind of loyalty program, we've seen loyalty communications, as you've mentioned. We've seen customized videos that are distributed through various channels that really take Let's Go there and make them with it, put it within your brand voice and attach your own brand imagery to them. Asheville has some really great examples of that. Las Vegas, if you take a look at their Twitter feed, has done some really creative, very Las Vegas executions with the Let's Go There messaging. And I will say that, one way to kind of take the Let's Go There further and to truly, I think, extend the campaign in a very custom, unique manner, but authentically, is to really use we have customizable assets that are available to, anybody that invests in the campaign, even at the lowest level. So we will hand over the video files, we'll hand over all the working files for the campaign assets that truly allow you within your organization or your agency to get super creative with what you're able to do with the video product or the social media as well. But we've also seen, homepage takeovers. We've seen fun Twitter chats. We've seen a lot of, emoji use on social media. We've seen terrific blog posts and itineraries that have been created around Let's Go There and future travel planning. And what I love to see is we've seen a lot of brand-to-brand interaction. So, Delta engaging with IHG and different, brands engaging with hotels, engaging with destinations, engaging with attractions on social media. It just really shows the unity of our industry at this time, and really kind of rallying around this, umbrella effort in a cohesive way. So that's been really terrific to see.
Yeah, those are some wonderful examples. And you said, one thing that you touched on, I think, is worth mentioning again. That's the concept of unity during all of this. I think it's been amazing to see the industry as a whole come together. It's always been a pretty close industry for the most part, but it's really in times like these you start to see these things play out even more, and that unity is amazing. And then the creativity you mentioned that comes out of this, still amazes me sometimes what some of these destinations come up with. And we will be sure to link to a few of those in the show notes, so check some of those out, of some creative ways that others out there have taken the Let's Go There campaign to the next level. So Laura, thank you so much for your time and coming on and sharing your insights. And again, folks, if you haven't already, I'm sure many of you have, but just a reminder, go on to US Travel's website, check it out. They've got a ton of information on there, and amplifying the message and helping us all amplify this message is very important. So Laura, thank you again.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You bet. And thanks for tuning in each and every week. If you're not subscribed, please do so now. We're also available on Spotify and iTunes if you want to absorb us through audio content. So thanks for tuning in, everyone. We'll see you next time, and have a great day.